Hello again. This is just a quick video to show my latest purchase. It's a Denon DR-M22. It's a 3-head with tape and source monitoring. So it's quite a nice little unit. It has a backlit display for the tape transport, which is always nice. You can see where the tape is. Otherwise it's pretty standard, Dolby B&C fluorescent display, and it all works. However, as usual, I have a few tapes that I play just to see how bad or good it is, and these 3 particular cassettes always play up, and once again they have. If I put in a reasonable tape, it plays quite well. Like there's a little bit of Dire Straits, which of course I can't play too much of. And it plays quite well. And that's the other thing, it has automatic tape type sensing, so it's a nice little unit. A bias fine adjustment for adjusting the bias when you're recording with different tapes. But the main thrust of this is to just come across or mention some of the little issues I've had with it. Now, the torque. What I did is I put in my little infamous torque cassette, which I picked up from China, I think, and it tells me the take up and the supply torque when you're playing a cassette, and it seems to be about 12 gram centimetre on the supply and 60 gram centimetre on the take up. It seems a little bit high on the supply and sort of okay on the take-up 60. I mean, I try to get closer to 100 if I can, but then again, most of them say the range is sort of from like 40 up to 100, and the biggest problem is the quality of the cassettes, and also very true. And that's why I use these 3 particular cassettes to figure out how good it is. But play a good tape and yeah, it works well, but I suspect it's still a little bit lacking in take-up torque at only 60, and also I did a quick check with the torque for rewind and fast forward, even though this isn't really meant to do that. If you take it to the end of the tape, either way, it actually does tell you. And for the rewind, it was greater than 10. It went to the end of the dial, so yeah, to be expected, and so be it. For the take-up though, it stayed at 60. It wasn't any higher than 60, which surprised me. I thought it would be a bit more. So it could well be that the take-up for hub reel for play or fast forward is exactly the same mechanism, which yeah, I'm not sure if that's good or bad. As far as I can tell, the main capstan belt is sort of okay. Each of the Denons that I've acquired, this is now my 4th, the belts have generally been okay, which is fortunate because I can't seem to find anywhere to find Denon belts online, apart from trying to measure them somehow and ordering them that way by their size, but that's always difficult, and I haven't got the knack of doing that yet. But so far I've been lucky. So what do I do? Well, I've got a lot of second-hand cassettes that I want to just see what's on them before I bulk erase them, and and this seems like a good candidate to just try them out. And yeah, it was I think it cost me about $170 Australian, of course, so it's a pretty good buy, I think, for a tape monitoring cassette. I think that's always a good thing, and I like the Denons, even though they're perhaps not quite up to the Nakamichis. They're still good. Now, the only thing I've done is I've given it a good clean, a demag, and I've, using my test cassettes for track alignment and for azimuth, I've adjusted the tape head for alignment, which is in and out, and also the azimuth, which of course is the twist of it. And so I should have all the high frequencies that are possible out of it now, and it sounds quite reasonable, but time will tell. So, all right, I'll just leave it at that, and I haven't tried recording yet, but yeah, that's not really important at the moment. I just want to make sure that it plays okay, and it seems to. I'll put on something that Mr. YouTube won't mind. Maybe, yeah, no, you'll hear the problem. This is Edith PF, so. So anyway, I'll use it for my testing of all my used cassettes I've bought recently, and save wasting the Nakamichi CR5 that I'm currently using to test cassettes. Bit of a waste, so this'll be good. Well, I thought I'd have a quick look at the levels, and I put in a MTT 150 level cassette, 400 Hertz, 200 nanoweber per meter, and yeah, I managed to get the levels okay up on the display. Don't seem to be getting the right level coming out of the back. It should be 0.775 volts. I might have screwed something up, so I'm not too worried about that at the moment. It still sounds okay, etc. But what I have noticed is that I tried recording a cassette, and unfortunately it would appear as though the left channel recording is right down. It's there, but only just. So it's somewhere between the input circuitry, the input on the readout here is okay, so somewhere from there to the record head. I'm hoping it's not the left side of the record head itself. That would be rather tragic. So that might be why I managed to get this for a slightly cheaper price. Oh well, them's the breaks. I will have a closer look at that head just to see if it actually looks okay, and after that it's quite possible one of the connections to it has fallen off, or there could be a fault in the circuitry from the input circuitry up to the recording head. It could be there's no bias on the left side. That's the other possibility. So yeah, there's a few things I can look at, but anyway, that may be for another day. I've got other things to do, but at least it plays back okay, and that's a good start. All right, moving on. Well, something interesting. I was finding that the left channel wasn't recording at good level, and anyway, I gave a description of what I thought may be wrong, but just playing around here, I thought maybe the tilt or the angle of the record replay head might be off. And so anyway, I've been just doing something, and I'll, for example, let's try here, record. Hopefully it won't get us, but that's playing what's the tape. Now if I bring the head down slightly, I was finding that the sound would come up on the left channel. And then anyway, on the supply pinch roller, I dropped it out, pushed it down out of the way, and all of a sudden the sound came. So then what I did was I played around with the guide. Now you see I pushed the guide in, the left guide that's on the supply pinch roller, push it in, and I lose sound completely. And when I wind it out using the adjuster, I'm actually getting a signal. So that leads me to I think that the whole transport path is not quite right. So even though I adjusted the playback track alignment and the azimuth, it's not enough. It's not enough. There's more to this than just that. So what I did notice was that the record head has a bit of a lip on it, so it's a bit worn. But so I was a bit worried that would be the end of it, but no, by adjusting the guide, you can see disappears, release it, bring it out a bit, and I'm getting a signal. I'll have another quick go at just how the levels are now. I know that guide needs to be properly aligned, but I'll worry about that later. It was upsetting it, damn it. So we'll have to do looks like a complete alignment all through here. I was putting off it, but I think I might have to buy a jig for setting up the tilt and angle and height of the replay head in the cassette mechanism, because there's a number of things. There's the it's the in-out height, there's the out height, there's the azimuth like that, and then there's the tilt, which is that way. So there's a number of things that need to be right, and not only for the head, but you need all the guides to be pushing it the right way. And with these two capstan type machines, they generally have guides. Oops, I keep pressing the pause button, that's why it stopped. So yeah, there's a lot more to it, but anyway, that's a good sign. So right, I'll just do a quick level check again and be back. Okay, I've had a little bit of success. I'll just briefly do a tape source comparison. The tape source tape. There is a slight difference, which oh well, but at least the level is right up there now, so how about that? So there's a lot of work to be done with this in the future, and also the high frequency does seem to be not quite as good as I'd like, so it will get some attention at a later date, but at least it's all working now, and does a reasonable record and playback. So that's it for the time being. Hope you found that interesting. I was a bit worried there for a moment. It does have a worn record head, but oh well, that's life. Well, I couldn't help it. I had to do some more. I spent quite a bit of, probably a good half an hour playing around with the adjustments of the playback head height and azimuth, as well as the adjustment of the supply guide, and yeah, it's a lot better now, but I will have to spend a lot more effort later on. But at the moment, the monitoring a recording of a tape is pretty good. That's tape, source, tape. But I find I have to have the bias fine adjustment right to the minimum to give the most HF. If I take it to the end there, tape, source, tape, source, tape. You can see there's quite a bit of difference in the high frequency. Now it could be this tape, it's a TDK D60. It could be the tape. I may actually try it on a chrome tape, but it doesn't really matter. Whatever's amiss with the bias, it needs to be set up properly later on. Possibly even some high frequency peaking somewhere, not sure yet. And I won't be able to get to it for many months, so, but it's a goer. That's the main thing. So it's in good condition. The front is really nice actually, and so even if I sell it, I think I should get a good price for it, and I'll make sure it's working correctly. So mostly all is well. Once again, take 3, 4, whatever. Bye.